Good morning. It's Sunday. It's beautiful outside. I hope you guys had a good night since yesterday. If some of you did my Shazam class, my ankle feels much better today. Almost like no pain at all. I talked to it last night, so we had a conversation. I just need to talk to my neck today. But yoga's gonna help a lot. So all you need is your mat. If you have any props like blocks, I have some blocks, I have some pillows and some blankets. If that's going to help you during your practice. Hi Coco, good morning. Good to have you here with us. I can see your face and I'm sending my my hugs, my virtual hugs for you. So as I was saying, if you need to, hi Mark, good morning guys. If you need to grab your props, whatever you know that suits your body, like blankets or bolsters, pillows, whatever, a chair, whatever's gonna help you during the class. We're gonna do a lot for the low back. I had some requests for low back and neck and shoulders. So we're gonna focus a little bit more on that. And that's it. Should we start, guys? Good morning. I'm sitting my kid's balls, my kid pink ball here. I'm gonna put it over here. All right, so I have my little pillow that I like to sit for our beginning. But if you have anything else that you can sit just to lift your sacrum off the mat, just for a little kick it up, and then swing your legs side to side. If crossing your legs are very hard today, you can do that in a chair too. So swinging side to side, giving a little time for people to log in. Hello, hello, good morning. Now I'm very far away from my phone, so I cannot read who is getting there. I think it's Carolyn. Hi, good morning. All right, so here, roll those shoulders up and then reach the arms as they go up and then bring them down, still with the shoulders up, and then release. I'm gonna do that one more time. Lift the shoulders towards the ears, reach it up, exhale down, and then sink. Now bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and reach the knuckles back towards the back of the room. And then maybe twist just a little bit. It's just such a beautiful day, isn't it? Now another thing before our centering, still waiting for people to log in. Maybe some people think it's at 9:30. I'm gonna pull with the right hand, pull that elbow back. If it feels good, you can just pull with the wrist too, and then to the other side. Now your head can be really forward if your arms needs to reach forward, okay? It's not a big deal here. All right, guys, again, you can be in a chair or on the floor, doesn't matter. Now let's take a moment to notice how our bodies feel this morning. Maybe stay in your bed. Maybe you're drinking your coffee outside. Just allow the body to feel what it needs to feel, where anxiety is building into you. Maybe if there's some stagnant energy stuck somewhere in you. And this is all caused by fear, so if you recognize where you're holding all of that, first we accept that. You accept the way of the body to be showing what you need to heal. And then you get the body ready for the healing. Now focus in the breath, and I know some people need to feel their breath to really connect with it. So if you are one of those people, you can bring the hand to the belly or the hand to the chest to really feel the breath. To really feel your belly or your chest expanding. And as I'm paying attention how the breath is going, where the body is opening as I'm breathing, I get more and more present. More and more aware of my physicality, but more connected with your spiritual side. And I always say, that's all you do today. Taking some giant breaths and connecting with the body and the mind. This is great. This is a great beginner to practice mindfulness. Take one more. Alright, left fingertips, or you can use your right if you mirror me. Left fingertips on the mat. Right hand facing the floor. We're going to reach it up first. So try to keep your fingers separated, okay? And then start to bend that left elbow if there's more space. Keep reaching down to the floor, but roll the left shoulder also back and down. And then gently flipping slowly that hand towards the other side. So the front of your hand now faces the floor. And then you keep reaching up and then over towards your head. Now right here, it's not an easy place to be, so keep the breath long and surrender where you can. And take one more giant breath. Now one of my favorite restorative helpers here. As the right hand moves to the left side of your head, or the right hand moves to the right side of your head. Right hand to the left hand to the right. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do both here. You start to bring that head towards the right side, still touching the floor with the left fingertips. Now, I really feel deeply into my left side neck because of my injury, so I'm being very kind. Take another deep breath here. Now exhale, slide your left fingertips towards the back, okay? And maybe start to walk them, almost like if you're twisting. Shoulder roll back, bend your elbow a little bit so it gives that space in the front. Now start to look down, like if you're going to look towards your fingers, and then press the back of your head with your hand. As the opposite shoulder, the right shoulder rolls down, and then you take another deep breath here. Ready guys, now we're going to press the head into the hand. We all know where this goes. And then just slowly bring that head one more time down. Perfect. We're going to go back to the front. That's it. So let's do the other side. So right hand, right fingertip goes to the floor. Take a deep breath in. Start to lift your left hand, still facing the floor. Okay. As you notice the space in that right elbow, you roll it down, roll the shoulder, keep reaching. And then when your arm cannot go any further because of how open your shoulder can be here, that's just enough. You turn your palm, and then your palm is facing now the right side of your room, and then keep going if there's space. Now I know some people, I need to put my hair. I know some people keep their shoulder here, so try to release it down, creating space, separating the shoulders first, okay? Keep the breath. That left sit bone sinking on the ground. And then left fingertips roll to the head. If you can hold the opposite side of your head, you're going to lift your head away from that right shoulder and move towards the left side. Keep holding here. And you breathe. And another breath. Now the right fingertips are going to slide it back. And then hand moves towards the back of your head as you start to look towards your right fingers, or trying to look towards your right fingers. Left shoulder rolls down. Some people in this one feels in that upper shoulder here. Some people feel in the right side of the neck. So as I always remind you to check in with the body. See what the pose is giving you. And release into the pose. Exhale. One more time up. Inhale, reach the chin away from the chest. And then we bring back to center. Nice. All right. I'm going to release my prop from underneath me. And we're going to start down today. And then we move it up, okay? So find your way into a laying down position. Your whole back is touching the floor. If you need support for your neck, you can always bring something, a blanket or a pillow underneath you. Focus in your core now and relax your whole belly, sides. Reach the arms overhead and then interlace your thumbs. I call this dove hands. Interlace your thumbs and then keep pressing your elbows apart and just notice the energy that builds in your arms. Now keep sending your elbows out and swing your head side to side just for like 3 or 4 times. Perfect. Now release your arms and then swing those knees. They are more than hips distance apart in this case. Swing those knees to the left. As you keep moving them down to the floor as much as it feels good. Like as I'm reaching my knees down, my sacrum, my low back leaves the floor because the energy is going to my hip flexor and I'm trying to reach down. So you might feel all the way to your right side. If this is too much, shoulders overhead, you can bring a pillow here to release here, or you can bring towards the sides. And then let's reach to the other side. You can do the same thing. You can just allow the knees to be heavy, or you can force just a notch to kind of lift your low back and sending that upper hip flexor towards the right side of the room. And then we bring back. Now the left foot stays on the ground. The right knee lifts towards you. Right away you feel that nice release for the low back. Okay? Now flex your right foot and try to just lift your heel as long as there's no stress in the hamstring or in the low back. Okay? Now hold here for 1 or 2 breaths, still trying to bring your knee towards closer to your face. Now interlace your fingers behind that right leg and then press that leg closer to your chest, allowing the shoulders to melt down, the neck to be really nice and supported, the head to be heavy. Now point your toes and flex or circle your ankles. Your ankle. Alright, now bend the knee a little more. Maybe surrender that right foot as you bring towards you. sacrum still on the floor. You're trying to balance here as you release the shoulders. Now you can have a belt or you can have your blanket to help you to guide that foot if this is too much. I can grab with my left hand my outside right foot and trying to bring towards me, okay? And then I'm also holding my ankle and trying to bring towards me as the right knee moves away. So we're doing a pigeon here just with our backs on the floor. Very good for the low back, for the hips. To put the pelvis back into place as we do, of course, both sides. Now from here, you can lift your ankle, you can hold the back of the knee, or with the right hand, the outside of the right foot. And then just find a half baby, happy baby, happy baby. Now you don't have to hold your foot, you can hold your leg. The other variation that you can do with this one is to straighten that left leg or to bend a little less, okay? Because it's easier for the leg to get heavier, so your left hip drops to the floor. And I'm holding here, allowing my shoulder to open too. As I take one more, inhale. Beautiful. Slide your left heel in, and then that right leg is gonna cross over the left. But don't let it cross all the way. Keep your right outside ankle right in the edge of your left knee. Okay? And then you start to move towards the left side. You can either hold with the left hand, or you can find a helper, like a block, to surrender your knee or to surrender your ankle. And then hold it here, allowing the body to melt, the right side to melt. The right arm can be over to your right side, and the head can be wherever you want to be. And the most important is the action of your breath. Is you willing to breathe deeply, more than we do without even noticing. I want you to notice this time. As the breath reaches the sides, the back, especially that low back. Take one more inhale. Alright guys, now if you have the right leg over the left, you're going to straighten the left a little more so your whole body can go to that left side. Slide the right leg down. So notice now, my right is going back and my left is forward. Left forearm on the ground, right hand helping and supporting the twist. My right hip bone is moving towards the right side, and then the left hip bone is moving underneath and towards the left too. So it's a nice twist. My right inner knee is on the floor, and my left outer leg is on the mat. Surrender that left leg as much as you can. And take another breath here. All right, from here, lift your right leg and move higher towards the right arm on the floor. So now the left is straight, the right is all the way to the right, and the knees bend, so you're moving away from your hip. Left hand forward, right arm underneath that left arm. You can always find a pillow underneath that shoulder as you release that chest, the torso down to the floor, and your head. Remember, your head can be supported by a pillow. The right knee is bent and moving away. So the right leg, guys, your thigh, could be parallel with the front of your mat. So they're both in a nice line. You cannot see me from there, but you can kind of check where I am. Start to surrender your ankles. And this can be really intense for the shoulders, so remember to help the body to find your restorative pose. Mine is this one, but yours can be right here. Yours can be with something underneath your shoulder or something supporting your head. Take 2 more breaths as you keep making your body heavy towards the ground. And then let's slide the right arm from underneath. Bring both forearms on the ground, slide your right, pressing the hands down, pressing your elbows down, rolling the shoulders back. We all know this pose is called Sphinx, and it's not a very resting pose. It looks like I'm resting, but I'm not. Press your elbows, press your arms, and then start to bring your body forward, like if you're trying to open your rib cage more. And you're trying to stretch the front chest and the belly. The top of your head is facing the sky. Take 1 more breath here. Now, guys, we're gonna do the other side. Now, starting from back to front. Left knee slides. The other side, we did that too. So the leg is parallel with the front of the mat. Now the left arm is going to go underneath the right arm. And then you can slide it away from you and drop that shoulder where you want it to be, or use a prop, and then release the head too. Finding a moment of quietness within the body and the mind, so the body has moments of deep release. Because every time the mind makes, not big enough noises for your body to tense, there's no space to restore. Let's take 3 more rounds of in and out breaths. The left leg slides. And then we stay with the right forearm, the left hand, sliding a little bit the other leg. Breathe in and out through your nose. Now lift your left knee. So the left used to be forward. Now we're going to bring it back. Slide the right a little bit. So the left inner knee drops to the floor. So there's this happening with your hip. There's a lift in your left side. Left hand down, elbow down. Now press both and start to rotate your hips and your pelvis, like if it's trying to reach the floor, okay? The right hip bone goes to the right, the left hip bone goes down, and also towards the right. And then you roll your shoulders back and down. Some people might not feel it. Some people are going to feel more in one side than the other, because that's how they rely on one hip more than the other. And then 1 more breath. All right. Moving Coming slowly now down back to our mats. The other leg, so we're gonna go from the other side. So we're gonna cross the left ankle this time over to the outside of the right knee. So you plug them there. And then you move those knees towards the right side. Now, you can support your ankle or you can support your inner left knee. Some parts of the block here, or you can just use a pillow. Hand can be supporting the leg, the other arm can be straight, can be looking over towards the opposite side. Belly is relaxed. Face and eyes and jaw and lips. The body's telling you something that you can't keep trying to fight, you know, whatever injury or whatever pain you have, remember there is always more support. It's your choice to choose what suits you. And then one more breath. Perfect. Gonna do that leg now. Bring the knee towards the left side. The right hand can help that outside right foot. And then maybe the ankle going closer to you. Okay. And then the belly relaxes. The shoulders relax. And now if it's impossible today to grab your foot, you can lasso your foot with something. If your foot is all the way down here, you can lasso and just hold the foot going towards your chest and then knee moving away. I know it's way harder for guys to do this kind of pose with the hips. And then with one more breath. You can either hold the outside of your foot with the left hand or hold the back of the knee and then sending that knee towards the side as the knee is trying to press the floor. I love this to help my neck also to open. And then with the leg, if it's too much for you to straight the leg, maybe you can have also a support underneath that right leg. A very good pose for the low back, for the hips, for the pelvis. And I know it's still morning, your body's still closed. So we're starting usually with what we end. But we're gonna open those areas first before we move through a little slow flow. All right, guys. Now from here, grab the back of your knee and then bend the right knee. Just hold here, notice your hip flexor. And then we're gonna reach higher, just holding the back of the leg. Just right in the moment that your hamstring starts to talk to you is where you're gonna stop the extension, okay? Roll the shoulders. Breathe nice and easy. And then exhale. Release your foot back down. Bring your hands to your belly. And then bring your knees together. Take a moment before we move on through the practice. Take a moment to recognize where you're feeling now, where the warm sensations go, where the coldest sensations are. if you can, or if you're ready to eliminate tension, build up, maybe in your neck, maybe in your back. Alright, bring your hands to the back of your head. Take a nice breath in, and then support your head with your hand. Let all the weight of your head in your hands. And then lift your head with the help of your arms, rolling the shoulders down towards the hips. And just hold here for a moment or two. And exhale, release. All right, let's reach our right side. I'm reaching my right because I can see you. And then finding a seated position in front of your mats, like facing the front of your mats. Reaching your sit bones down to the floor. Let me put my hair up, otherwise it's going to be my face. Take 2 more moments to breathe. And then start to walk your fingertips to the front of your mats. So now they walk to the front, fingertips, feeling your sit bones, readjusting your foot if you have to. I like to swing here, feeling my shoulders and my low back. Alright, when you're ready to come to a tabletop, find your way into your version of tabletop, usually knees and hips, usually wrists and shoulders. Roll them back, your shoulders, and start to move your rib cage and belly down to the floor, lifting the tailbone up. And again, take a moment to notice the body, how it feels in this pose. Every day, maybe, whatever the body needs, we're going to feel different, okay? Depend also the time of the day that you're doing it. So keep the belly going down, and then move the neck gently as your chin is moving forward. Exhale, start to round your back. Now moving the mid-back and the upper back towards the sky. The head becomes heavy, the chin drops to the chest. Again, take a moment to notice, is there any pinching sensation, right or left side of the body, in your whole spine? Maybe start with the cervical, maybe starts with the low back more, the lumbar. And then from here you go back to a neutral, and then looking towards that right hip as the right shoulder moves towards the hip. And then slowly to the other side. Beautiful. With the fingers pressed down to the mat, lift your knees off the floor and reach back to a downward dog. Take the moment to maybe stretching one leg at a time. Feeling that ankle, those toes, the back of the legs. And then release your knees down. Doing one more round of cat and cow. This time we're going to go a little faster. Belly and chest, shoulders, neck. And then exhale, round. And then right side squeeze. And then left side squeeze. And then child's pose. Your child's pose can be supported. You can have a pillow underneath you. You can have a pillow between your ankles and your butt. You can have something supporting your head. Move the awareness back to the breath and how it flows in you and how it supports you and how it helps you surrender, how it helps you release. This is stretching your low back. This is allowing the head to become heavy so it also can support your cervical, your neck muscles. If you allow the whole face to melt, it can support your face muscles. Open up the front of your foot. Take one more breath. Now lift your head just quite slightly away from the mat. Lift your butt and then walk your forearms to the front until you cannot walk any further. Lift your elbows off the ground. See if your forehead can release down. As you walk your hands to the front, spread your fingers wide. And then trust here that you can surrender your torso as your shoulders move out and away from you. Again, notice how it feels in your own body. Keep your elbows lifted off the ground. Take one more breath. Exhale gently, elbows reach back down, tucking the tailbone under and waving towards the front. Remember our Sphinx. We're going to go back there. Great pose for the neck, the low back, the chest. It's opening a lot of parts of you. Roll the shoulders down, lengthening the neck up towards the sky. Shoulders move down towards the floor. Now pressing your hands in your forearms and help yourself to slide to the front of the mat. Now we're going to do something with the neck as we look over to the left. And as we look over to the right. Now bring it back. Now the right side of your head moves towards the left side. And then the opposite, just tilting the head to the side. And then now the chest is going to release to the floor. Hands go back. Interlace your fingers. You cannot see my toes. I'm tucking my toes and releasing them to the floor for me to lift my knees off the mat. So you can engage more with your pelvis. So tuck your tailbone under, lift your arms away from your butt, and see if you can surrender your forehead on the mat. Now your knees are lifted because your toes are on the floor. There's engagement with your pelvic floor, and your arms are lifting away from your from the floor, from your body. One breath in, one breath out. Now release the arms, release your legs as you point your toes. Bring one cheek towards the floor and then completely allow the body to melt into gravity. As you work into moving away from tension. Moving away into holding your fears so tight that usually those habits of holding our fear, it's so intrinsic in us that we don't even realize we're doing it. If my neck's always tense, it's because I'm always tensing my neck. And I don't even know what feels to let go. Because this is what I live with. This is my habit. So it's not about changing your habits, but it's watching closely to what they look like. And then you can work into releasing them. And then bring your other cheek relax, melt. We are practicing discovering little parts that we just hide and we take for granted. Now guys, bend your knees. What happens when you bring your heels towards your butt? Your pelvis tries to move away from the floor. It's natural. Now start to tuck the tailbone under. So now you're going to feel in your quads, right? Point your toes. You can try to grab one foot or both, still with one of your cheeks down to the floor. Roll your elbows up to the sky and the shoulders too. Now lift your face and see if your chin can stay on the mat. Keep tucking your tailbone under. So your knee kind of lifts without you needing to do anything. Now breathe into your quad as much as you can. And then lift your chin, lift your chest, lift your knees, press your foot into your hands a little bit. Maybe drop your chin towards your chest and then back. And then release hands underneath the shoulders, tucking your toes, lift your chest off the floor, walk your knees to the front, and then find your variation of child's pose. I'm gonna have my knees apart, my toes are together. I'm using my pillow here. Maybe if you have something to lift it higher. So it's a very comfortable child's pose for you, for your neck, for your back. It's a great release for the hips if you have the knees apart. Of course, for the hip flexors too, but mostly for the outer hips when in your inner thighs. You can bring the hands underneath here and feel really cozy. You're going to stay for a few more breaths and a few more moments until you can come back to your intention. And we keep on working to release those bad habits, release those bad moments that we hold our fear so dearly into the body. Maybe you can start with your belly. Our gut speaks the truth. That's why they say our other brain is in the gut, right? A lot of feelings can rise from there. So notice if you can surrender first the muscles, and then you can really check inside if your stomach is doing any noise, or if it's quiet. Just send your awareness to the belly. And then from the belly to the low back. And then your sides and everything that belongs to your torso, where your organs are doing what they need to. Now I have just my left cheek down. You can always move the other side. Bring your hands to your sides, press it, lift your chest away from the floor and maybe do a little round, looking towards the belly. And then sending the chin forward. Alright, so you can bring your bolster or your pillow or your blankets to the other side. We're going to find our way to a seated position one more time. So it's almost time for Shavasana. Cross your legs, Bring your hands back, and you can do this sitting into something higher if you want. And then your hands are moved back. The heels of your hands are on the floor. You're pressing, but your whole hand is pressed to the mat. Start to roll your shoulder blades together and lift your heart up to the sky. Now it's a movement that we're going to create here. To open the front shoulder and the front chest. And then on the exhale, we curl our knees together, bending the elbows and rounding that low back and that mid back and that upper back, bringing the chin towards the chest. Inhale, separate the knees. Try to move them down to the floor as the rib cage opened up. The shoulder blades squeeze together. The shoulders open. Maybe there's a bend in the elbow to lift. And then again, exhale to do the opposite as the knees come to the chest. Let's take 3 more of those. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Respecting the level of your stretch today. Respecting the history of your body with every movement. Exhale. And then 1 more. All right, guys. Now, I want you to listen to the body, what it needs for your Shavasana. If you're going to do Shavasana today, I hope you do. What my body is asking is that I have a support in my back. And what my legs are asking is for a hero's pose. Now, of course, you can try this at home, but if you know that you have knee issues, or hip issues, or ankles issues, you can stay here for a little bit in that pose that I am and not trying to go further back. You can do what I'm doing too to make it that pose more suitable for you, is to have something higher underneath. And then I'm sitting in my bolster and I'm doing my full hero's pose with the support. So knees are bent, foot are out a little bit more, and then I'm going down towards that pillow as I release my back. Now you can also make it easier for your low back with another pillow here or a blanket so you can lean back. Now this feels great for my neck. This feels great for my chest. I want some opening here. This feels great for my knees. I'm not forcing. I'm actually really resting in this pose because of the support. If I was all the way down to the floor, it would be too much. Now your Shavasana can be just a normal Shavasana. Legs forward, feet relaxed, hands facing up. You can kind of readjust yourself. Or this pose you can do 1 leg at a time too. You can do half of a hero. Keep exploring a place that your body wants to be for a few moments, for a few more breaths, for a few more minutes. And then if you have something in your head that is forcing your head to not be as relaxed as it can be, make sure you remove it. If you can, relax the hands down so the palms are facing up. And take your time to explore again the spaces that are closed, that are they just feel open. Because this is all you learn. This is all your body knows. Until today. Beginning from your toes, going up to your legs, up to your knees. Quads and hips. Low back, mid back, upper back, low belly, stomach, rib cage, chest, shoulders, arms, neck, your ears, your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your lips. All that you are physically, you're allowing yourself to detach. You can be an observer of your body without holding. Remember, if the pose is too uncomfortable, starts to be uncomfortable, you get out of the pose and make more comfortable, so the body can keep on resting. And you rest for as long as your body needs, your mind needs. I'm honored to share this practice with you, and I hope suits you as much as suited me today. Thank you so much, guys. Have a safe and beautiful week, and I'll see you all soon. Namaste.